I hope I'm audible as well as visible.
Yeah, you're audible and visible. How are you doing, Tanishka? It's been very long time.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been very long since you last connected. I think almost about a month or so. How are you
Yes.
doing? Doing good only. Quite busy.
Uh,
What
so
about
in
you?
last 1 month, I've been to
Hmm.
Bangalore for a work trip, and that's
Uh-huh.
why I was not available on Clapingo those days. And
Oh.
I'm back, and it's been more 1 week. I took a break from everything and only work, and I'm back.
Hmm. Fair enough. So you were working like continuously working for a week?
Yeah, working and taking breaks in between. So it was
Hmm.
like a switch. So I was
Oh,
like taking
makes
some me
sense.
time in between, and I was learning about finance, investing, stock market,
Ah.
all those things.
Uh-huh. Huh. That's pretty interesting actually. That sounds very fun. That makes sense. But yeah, even I think I was not here last month. Like, I was not taking any sessions last month. I only got back in February after, I think, 1st or 2nd February, I started taking sessions again. But for the entire month, I was not on Clapingo. So yeah, that's that. It's been a pretty busy
So
January. So
so busy with studies.
yeah, I had my exams and everything going on, so I barely had time to breathe only because there were practicals, vivas, so much stuff going on in college. So yeah, it was
How
just
did
the
it go?
entire January is like that. How did it go? Terrible, terrible. uh, because obviously, like, what can you do within a month, right? I hadn't like prepared anything beforehand, so while I was studying, it was the first time I was actually paying attention to those subjects. So I was just sitting there like, let's see what I can do about this. So yeah, that happened. But it's fine, it's fine. I'm glad that it's over and the semester is gone, because I was getting super tired of that semester, and I just wanted it to end so that something new can start. Now the new semester has started and I hate that also. But it's okay. What can I do? At least the first one is over. This is the same thing I will say after second one, that at least it's over. I just want this degree to be over as soon as possible.
Yeah, life goes on and on,
Yeah, exactly. That goes on and on. Oh, that's a good song actually. I really like it.
and it
Yeah, that's my motto.
matched this theme. So I said,
Yeah, that's the motto of life at this point for me also. For it to just go on and be over as soon as possible. Like, not the life, just the degree. Life, I
yeah.
still have to do something.
So as an
What about
engineer,
you?
that was
Hmm.
like pretty common thing for me, like suggest like learning at the last moment. And as
Yeah.
I already told you about my YouTube channel, that Engineer Shiva,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
got famous just because of I taught how to study at last moment. Because I personally studied at last moment and then simultaneously made a video on my mobile holding like this and recording voice. The
Yeah.
video quality was not that great, but people liked the content and my explanation. That's why it went viral.
Yeah.
So,
That makes
so
sense.
such things is very common for engineers. Last moment study. We see the subject at that moment. Even the person
Yeah.
who never attended class will start reading at that last moment.
That's what every degree I feel. Like, I mean, I do the same thing. It's not like I'm any better than an engineer. Like, I have seen all students doing this. Anybody I talk to, it's always the last minute. Like, there are few students who just like to study so much that they'll study throughout the semester or at least a month before exams. But most people at college, I feel like they pick up the subjects right before their exams. So yeah, that's it. Because I mean, during the semester, they are usually busy in a lot of other stuff. You have to attend classes, you have to do practicals and everything, and you get to enjoy life a little bit. So that's there. So yeah, I think most of the people are busy with all that. But fair enough. What can we do? So that's there. But what about you? Did you ever regret studying last minute? Was it ever like, oh, kash pehle pad liya hota? I hope I would have,
Uh,
like, studied this before.
Initially, it happened when I started engineering and some exams didn't go as well as I expected. But later, now when it's so long after I'm done with my engineering, it felt that whatever happened for good because it's not about that I didn't study and study at last minute. It's about what I did in that time which I didn't study.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And those
exactly.
time I don't regret what I did instead
Yeah,
of studying. I don't regret those times. So
yeah.
overall, it makes sense.
Hmm.
I cleared with a decent
Yeah.
grade, so it's fine for me.
That's true actually. I tell myself that also. It's not like I'm not saying that this is a, I would say, excuse for studying last minute. It's just that there is a reason as to why I do it. Earlier I would just do it because I was enjoying the entire semester. Now I do that because during the semester I have a lot of other things to do which are helpful in my skills, which are going to help me in my career further. So I'm not exactly wasting those 4 months, right? So even if I'm studying last moment, like this time I did in January, and last moment I was studying, I didn't regret it because the entire semester I was doing something or the other which is going to be beneficial later. So I think if you're doing that, then studying last minute is fine because you get to pass with a decent grade, and that's more than enough. I have never seen somebody getting like really helped out because of their college grade. Like very few people get benefited out of it. Otherwise, you can get a decent score even at like last moment study in colleges. So yeah, that's there. But fair enough, it doesn't work for everyone, so I won't recommend it because I know people who tried my method and they failed miserably, and they were like, "Oh, we will course you for life." I was like, well, I study last moment because up till that point, I don't feel like studying, and I feel like even if I study, I procrastinate a lot. So there's no use of that studying. It's better to study last minute for me because I study just once and I go give the exam. I don't do revisions and everything.
Because you
And
are
it
able
helps
to
me.
create content from what you have observed.
Yeah, exactly. I'm able to do it. So for me, it works, but it doesn't work for everybody. That I have realized. One of my friends had done that, and they failed miserably because they are the kind of person that they would, well, like revise at least twice before their exam. And I'm like, and he tried to do it directly in the exams, which is not a great time to apply this technique. Do it with your internals or something. Don't directly try this out in your externals. Obviously, you're gonna fail miserably. But yeah, so
That
yeah, last
that
minute
word
is not for
miserably
everyone.
sounds good.
Yeah, I know. It was so terrible that I had to use it, but regardless. But yeah, do it at your own risk. It's like I do it, but I don't know if it'll work for anyone else. So yeah,
Disclaimer.
yeah, that's the disclaimer here. Do it at your own risk.
Yeah.
But fair enough. But regardless, so what have you been up to other than like obviously you're not having any exams right now? What are you doing these days?
No, no, these days, mm, that's something I need to. I didn't. My thoughts are like scattered, so I need to put them
Oh,
in one place.
are
Like,
you doing a lot of things? Is that why?
yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. You like fill in the blanks. Uh, but fair enough. But what are these couple of things? Like you must be going to office still, so that's a problem.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
the top priority. I am going to office,
hmm,
and in office itself, I have to focus on some things. As
hmm.
I am a front end engineer,
Yeah.
uh, so after that, I go to classes where I take extra training for that, some extra skills which might help me in future for my job,
Hmm. Yeah.
because those skills are evergreen. Even if we change any number of jobs or any different job, those, or you do your own freelance project, those skills are evergreen for software engineering. So such skills I am learning every day in one computer class. And apart from that, I am focusing little bit on my fitness, and I'm
Hmm.
focusing on meditation, all those things. I'm spending some
Ah.
quality time with my friends, like
Hmm.
trying to reach out. I was not doing that often before. I'm trying
Hmm.
to, since I live a little bit far, I'm trying to make time for speaking with my parents, and I'm
Oh,
learning about
nice.
finance. I'm learning about freelancing. I'm trying to pitch some clients. I'm trying to understand how business works. I'm trying to understand how marketing works, and I am reading some self-help books which will help me grow and like broaden my perspective.
Hmm.
So
What book are
there
you
are
reading? That's interesting.
uh, so recently I was reading, like just started Millionaire Fast Lane, but before that,
Ah.
Who Moved My Cheese was one book I finished reading. Who Moved My
Ah.
Cheese? It's a really good book.
Yeah.
It was
Hmm.
suggested by Bill Gates.
Yeah. Okay. I read that book at some point. I think it was. I read it last year only, I think. But fair enough. It's good. I mean, you're doing a lot of things, so it's like a very, I would say, productive utilization of whatever time you have. And I know it sounds busy, but like to another person, but I have been this person who would like, continuously be using their time. I still do it, but I feel like the meditation section and the section where you are just going out for some physical activity, that is the relaxing part of your day. I just feel like that because like I've been told that, why do you do so much? There's no point of this. It's not like everybody gets to be a millionaire. I'm like, I'm not doing it to become a millionaire. I am doing it because I feel like doing it, and right now I have the capacity and time to do it. Because I don't like to engage in all sorts of other things. So this is what I like to engage. And I can't sleep too much either. Like there's a limit to which you can sleep every day. So what to do with your time? It's better to utilize it. And I'm like not a huge fan of constantly watching series or anything. I just can't. Like I'm that person who skips through parts even when watching a movie. So I'm that stupid person. So I usually utilize my time in other ways. So yeah, that's this. I can understand that. So even if people tell that it's a busy time, a busy schedule, I feel like meditation is a very relaxing part of the day, and as well as physical activity because it's just you and your music, and it's just really good time to spend with yourself. So that's that. But what about you? How far are you into meditation? How is it helping you? How are you doing it?
Uh, I just started and I'm doing it 10 minutes a day
Hmm.
every morning. Since
Hmm.
my day is like jam packed, I get 10 minutes to for this. So in that 10 minutes, I just focus on my breathing. And I want to read one more book by the same person who wrote Who Moved My Cheese,
Yeah.
which is called as The Present. It
Hmm.
will tell us to come to the present and don't think about past, don't think about future. Just focus on present and give it your best. It's
Yeah.
something like that my uncle told me, so I want to read it.
Hmm. Hmm. That sounds interesting as well. I haven't read that one, so can't say what the book is entirely about. But sounds interesting. Sounds like a good idea to practice and follow. So that's that. What do you think? Like, are you
Whatever,
the person? Yeah, yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, no, whatever my uncle says, I try to follow that because he is a millionaire and I look up to be like him one day. So
Ah, okay.
he
That
had
makes
told
sense.
me to read the Who Moved My Cheese and even the next book.
Hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Um, I'm not a huge fan of self-help books because I am very internally motivated. I feel like so. Whenever I read self-helps, it doesn't help me a lot. I'm usually doing all that stuff already,
No,
so
he
it's just
actually suggested
yeah.
me that because I was asking him, I am feeling like my company people will remove me, all such things.
Uh,
I was speaking so much negative to him because I was seeking some life solutions that he will say something and that will change my life. I
yeah.
thought, but he instead said that some things are not as easy as it seems. It's not
Hmm.
you tell me something and I give you direct answer. You have to figure it out for yourself what works for you.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. I feel like everyone is going to have a different solution for their problem, even if the problem is same. People are going to find different ways to solve it because not every solution works with everyone. This is something that I have learned through my subject also. Even if you find a solution to a certain problem, that might not be the solution for another person, even if the problem remains the same. Because that's not how they look at life. So any sort of issue that you face in life, it's very personal. So you'll have to at some point seek your own answer to it. That way you actually learn to cope with problems ahead in your life. Like different problems also you will find a way to cope with them. So yeah, it's better to go ahead with your own advice rather than someone else's. So that's for sure.
Do you read
But fair enough.
psychology? Like, are you into psychology by any chance?
I'm doing my masters in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you give me an overview of that? Because I am looking forward to like learn that. I'm getting some kind of interest in that thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Psychology is very interesting, you know, but when it comes to curriculum, when it comes to academics, then psychology becomes more of a subject. So if you just want to understand the psychology of life, you'll have to read different stuff than what we study in curriculum. What we study in curriculum is specifically designed to help other people, to help organizations, and it doesn't help you in a very internal way. Like you will learn it indirectly. Like it's not like I haven't improved as a person while studying it. I did, but that's more of an indirect way. The direct concepts are related to improving the rest of the society and everything. So if you want to study the internal part of it, that is completely separate, that you don't get in the curriculum. That's one. But yeah, when it comes to psychology in general, it's all about studying behavior. It's all about understanding the mental processes of people. It is a very powerful subject because some people might disagree, some students might disagree, but as somebody who reads a lot, I have read multiple review papers, research papers, and whatnot. I still read at least one research paper every day. It's something I have
Wow.
very recently inculcated in my day. But yeah, as somebody who does all that, psychology is something so powerful that if you understand the latent concepts of it, if you understand understand the basics of it, you will realize that everything people do has a reason to it, and it's going to have a certain outcome to it. And if you know the particular behavior, you can very easily predict what's going to come next. So it does help a lot in prediction. It does help a lot in motivation. That's something you definitely learn through psychology. But overall, it's just basically a study to understand somebody's behavior, understand your own behaviors, understand how the mind works. Because it's like there are so many concepts that come under it. It's like, that's why psychology is not just a broad, like, it's a very broad subject which comes with a lot of different types of topics in it, right? So there's cognitive, there's social, there's cultural, there's so many other perspectives to it. So yeah, that's sure. It's very broad. Can't sum it up in like more, I would say, precise way than this.
Yeah, I already got so much information of that.
Yeah,
I really
so
like
that's
the
it.
way you said it in very short.
Yeah, this is the least number of words I can use to. I mean, there's so much I can tell, but of course, it's going to take
It sounds
days and hours.
fascinating actually.
It is, even when you're studying it, if you actually like the subject, it is very fascinating because I have learned a lot through it. I have learned to assess a lot through it. I have myself seen, like, that my habits have gotten better since I picked this up as a career. Um, I have myself transformed as a person. So yeah, it's very powerful that way because you read it all day, it obviously has an impact on you. So that's
Can
what.
you say, I think you are able to predict my actions as well, like if I get nervous or whatever I do.
Yeah, yeah, it helps.